Yo.
Play the game. Time to play the game! It's all about the game, and how you play it, all about control, and if you can take it, all about your stand, if you can play it, it's all about pain, and who's gonna make it? I am the game, you don't wanna play me, I am...
Probably sounds like terrible with like a huge echo.
It sounded alright, man.
Control! No way you can shake me, I am heavy debt. No way you can pay me, I am the pain, and I know you can't take me. Look over your shoulder, ready to run, like a Cleveland bitch from a smoking gun. I am the game, and I may lose. So move on out, you can die like a fool. Try to figure out what the move's gonna be. Come on over, sucker, why don't you ask me? Don't you forget there's a price you can pay. Cause I am the game, and I want to play.
Imagine your voice sounded like that. You'd be like a fucking hit at like Halloween parties and like pirate shows and shit.
Pirate show.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I've never played like longer than like the first like 4 seconds of that clip, but yeah, that's what it sounds like, I guess.
That's sweet, that man. I liked it.
Great job, Logan. Great space. I'm gonna have to go and listen to it again, take notes. But yeah, good job.
Thanks, man. I mean, I was just kind of like hosting it, kind of. Fix it. And everyone else is like, you know, keeps running. Randy and Mello and Naga and
Hey, don't cut yourself short though, Logan. You are talented and you nailed it. You nailed it. You pegged it. Good job.
hey, thanks. I think I gotta like take a nap though. I've been up for like 30 fucking hours. I'm pretty tired. So I'm gonna take a nap pretty soon probably. But yeah.
There was this huge ass bumblebee in my room, so I tried to give it honey, and that didn't work, so I just left for a bit, and now I don't know if he's still in here or not, so I'm like probing around. I'm like, hey bee, come out if you're still here. Windows open, right?
You're supposed to give him flowers, aren't you? Make the produce honey.
A few things that did pop out when I was listening. He did talk about the death threats, and Jason Sands was a little bit unclear whether it was the Boeing whistleblower or whether it was someone else, and then it could have been the Boeing whistleblower. So that's a little piece of information we got.
Yes, come on, Red Panda. You know, what I should have done is I should have been live streaming that shit like on a video. I really should have been doing that. I should be doing it right now probably, because like those guys over at the Cosmic Summit are gonna have people like popping up, and like I'm supposed to be ready for that shit, and I'm not. But yeah.
Yeah, you should for sure. That's why the last when I came in, I was able to get that on Skyfire. I linked you, but it was kind of the moment. So if we want to talk about how to maybe do that in the future, we should.
I also thought it was interesting that he wasn't really familiar with Bledsoe or any of that. The lady, he was kind of wasn't familiar with that. So that's like interesting that he hasn't really been exposed to that. That says something.
That is interesting. Like he's not part of that network sphere of influence or ideology on this stuff. What was that? Did you catch the King of Disclosure stuff, Arthur?
Yes, the Greer one with Gary Nolan about Gary Nolan. Wait, what are you talking about?
Citizens Dawn question like really pissed me off. Not gonna lie, because like he was running short on time. But Jason Sands' response to it, I thought was kind of interesting. He was just kind of talking about like behavior and that like people want to be king of disclosure, and if it doesn't go their way.
Oh yeah, that part. Yeah, no, I want to listen to that again. I mean, clearly there's some big egos. I mean, Greer would definitely be one of them that wants to be the king of disclosure. You know, I kind of like him. I mean, and then Mellon and a bunch of other people. I would say 7 or 8 people probably want to be king of disclosure.
Yeah, I went through and I just timestamped the one on the Skyfire channel, so there's a bunch of it's a little easier to navigate there. But Jonathan Caruso's question about the Eisenhower Treaty, when I was going back through it, I was like, oh shit, that's pretty interesting. And I really liked his prayer, that guy's prayer, and the cult conversation. Pretty interesting stuff.
Right, and I think Jason. I mean, I really hope he is who I think he is, because we need more leadership in this community. He's experienced, you know, and he has been a leader and a teacher for decades. I welcome him, and I support him probably almost more than anyone else right now.
Same, honestly, especially the whole behavior talk and stuff like that. Because it's really not that hard, and if we just had a few of the big name leaders talking about that stuff, a lot of the crazy shit would just be gone overnight.
Right, and he's been, liking some of my tweets about the hate group, so he's aware of it. He's aware that we have concerns, and I think I think he's on our side because we want civility, we want respect, and we want, multiple opinions. We don't want, dominance from one, organization or group or another.
Good job, Logan.
And
Arthur, I saw you.
Go ahead.
Change it to the Russell Crowe thing. So if you wanted to.
Oh, the Russell.
I was gonna go.
Yeah. I mean, the 2027, the Russell Crowe. So it sounds like who Eric Weinstein and Sam Harris. They got courted by this group. I think we're seeing another one of these examples.
How was your dinner, Jason? I just had my dinner or lunch right now. I had like some chili rellenos. I don't know if you know what that is. It's like a bell pepper stuffed with cheese and like some rice and beans. Pretty good. It's horchata. It's good stuff. California's got some great Mexican food.
I'm about to start up some spaghetti in solidarity with you, Jason.
I am nursing my food belly.
Thanks, Jason, for coming to Twitter Spaces. I appreciate it. And, you're really doing a great job. And I want to know that there's a lot of people that support you. From diverse backgrounds.
Yeah, I think that's something I definitely be meaning to say for a while. Is after the first 3 days, things calmed down from the negativity side, and quite honestly, everybody else just has been so supportive. The kindness, the respect has really shown through, and it's like it just reversed everything I ever thought about getting out on social media before I did my public speaking and everything else. I thought my life was going to be fraught with horrible nightmares, but it's been, thanks to you guys and the respect, it's been a very good journey now. It's been a very supportive journey, and I couldn't have asked for a better bunch of people that are open-minded and opinionated in some cases, and I just really, really am liking the diversity of topics, the diversity of ideas. You guys make me think, and that's where it should be. I mean, honestly, um, it's something that we all need to press the envelope on. So I'm really thankful for the community. I'm very surprised at how supportive it is.
And you're a trailblazer. You're a trailblazer. We hope that more people like you are going to come onto Twitter, because really this is the platform that has the most free speech, the most, freedom. And I think it should be the place where, news is broken instead of like on stupid mainstream media.
Yeah, we can all thank Elon Musk for that. And I really am appreciative of his adherence to what we here in America enjoy, is the freedom of speech without, fear and retribution and being told that, oh, now you're in trouble. So I'm very thankful the platform's there. And yeah, I think that's part of why I'm here on X or Twitter. And I think that's something everybody needs to take note of, because yeah, you're right. There's other media platforms. I don't have any problems with them, but this one definitely, the byline on there is free speech, and I really take that to heart. And I know Elon's totally behind that.
That's why
Well, I'm really grateful, real quick, I'm really grateful that you're here with us again, and also that you are willing to laugh with me with our alien, which alien race is hot. I think it's
Ricky or
important
Rick?
to be able to, joke, if you can. If you can find a joke
Yeah, thanks for
somewhere,
bringing me
I
up. I
think
just want
that's
to mention
important.
earlier on Fox Business, Trump was being interviewed. I can't remember the YouTuber, the boxer, going to be a boxer, Mike Tyson. Anyway, they was talking about UFOs, and Trump said he wasn't sure if he believed in them or not. But he said he had a lot of credible friends that really did, and there was a lot of weird stuff going on that they couldn't explain. So I thought that was pretty cool that Fox Business was talking about it again.
Jason,
Yeah, Logan Paul interview was
that's
cool.
why I asked that question. What we could do to make it more, more possible for whistleblowers like yourself to come to spaces. We try to be positive. We don't allow any negativity to be in these spaces. So I'm just thankful that you came back after your dinner. Thank you so very much.
Yep, no problem.
I agree, Randy, too, because it's not just about Jason, too, right? You want to make the environment welcoming for other Jasons and whatnot.
For sure, I'm curious what his wife thinks about which alien race is the hottest. No, I'm kidding. But no, yeah, it should be comfortable and not too I don't know. I don't like putting anybody on the spot, and I want to treat everyone equally, right? So just coming in and hanging out, that's the vibe I like to give. And some people
What
don't
up,
like
B?
that it's not super professional, but it's I don't know. I'm here to hang out and be comfortable, not to I guess judge or I don't know.
Well, I don't think my wife has an opinion about any of the NHI, so therefore her sexy opinion is probably not there either. And that's about all I got to say about that.
Jason, have you been in contact with Greer at all lately, last few months?
Yeah, actually, I think we texted a few times about his database and wanting to do more with that. So yeah, I've talked to him.
Have you heard about anything about this SAP that's providing security for high-level whistleblowers that's going live June 20th, according to him?
I have not heard that, but it's a possibility. If it was going on, it's probably right that nobody else would know about it, because pretty much you're setting up a SAP to stop a SAP from hurting people that are in a SAP. So it'd be really hard to keep cover down on that.
Well, he's made public statements about it, so yeah, I assume it might be known. But yeah, that's all.
Yeah, I haven't heard that from anybody else yet.
Taylor, you missed it. There was a very nice prayer said for Jason Sands by someone in the last space.
Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, I'm all about that. I'm an equal opportunity guy, and to me, prayers are just as good as a get well card or a, hey, how you doing? And I really kind of find it funny that people get so offended. What are you doing praying for me? It's like, well, it's what they feel is the best offering they can give you, and it's a sign of grace on their part. And if it's on you to really accept it or not, it's kind of like, do I want to get offended by a joke card or a prayer? I don't think so. It's not that big a deal to me. But the prayer was very nice, and I really appreciated it because it means a lot when people offer their best to wish somebody well and to wish me well.
B.
Well, I'm sending you all the very best biophotonic goodies that I can muster. I really appreciate you. I did go back and I was just listening to my little spot in the last space to make sure I didn't embarrass myself too bad. But I messed up and said nuclear submarine USS Henry S. Land, but it's nuclear submarine tender. I got over the tender. I wasn't on a sub. I was on their dry dock out at sea. So I just wanted to clarify that.
Well, thank you. I do feel vibes that are good today, so I'm getting better from being sick. So I'll take whatever I can get because that COVID really kicked my butt earlier this week. But yeah, thank you. And I wish all of you guys well, because I think, like I said, you guys are a missing part of the puzzle that I think needs to be part of the move forward. I can't imagine any time in our history as a country where the people weren't really either the ones that stood for the freedom that we want to have in this country or stood for a wrongdoing in another part of another country. It came from the hearts and the votes from you guys. So, we need to send each other, that confidence in every which way we can and encourage each other. I know I sound like a freaking, I don't know, a corny guy, but it just means a lot to me, and I can't say it in any other words really that mean anything. That's it. That's really, honestly, the only thing I could ever imagine that's going to push it through, because I've seen what the government's been doing, and I've seen all the processing, and it's a part of it. But there's nothing like a fire from the people that really stokes it. So I'm really hoping that that's a grassroots thing that all of us can really participate in, because I can't do it alone. And that's why I'm reaching out. I can't do this alone. I'm tired of walking the path. There's only so much one guy can do in offering advice. And even a group of really great people like I've had, David Grush and everybody else just pushing for disclosure. They're all doing great things. But, when it comes down to it, we're each just one individual in the mix.
Craftbeard?
Hey, question for Jason. Hey, Jason. Thank you for fielding so many questions, for being here today. I just wanted to ask. I think before you once implied that the telepathic message from the blue being was something that you remembered only later when talking it through, and I was just thinking it through or talking it through. I was just wondering if you could kind of clarify and expand on that a little bit.
Yeah, sure. What I mean by that is I remember the conversation, but then there are parts of it that later on, once people started asking more, I discovered that telepathy left something behind in me. There was like residue pieces of his consciousness and my consciousness that were shared at a level where now I possess part of his memory and he possesses probably part of mine. And when I was pressed and questioned on certain things, like the star map I mentioned earlier, when they interviewed me and they, told me, yeah, that's that star map you drew is a star map of Leo. And can you tell us more about that? Like maybe the big red star. And I started to say, well, no, I don't really. And then something started to kind of come to the surface and triggered a memory. And I was like, well, yeah, there is something about the Red Star. It's like there was a catastrophe that occurred a long time ago, and it wiped out an entire planet. And they had to recolonize. And it was a really sad moment because, um, I used to cry about this because I could feel the same thing he felt about this because it wasn't my memory, but he remembers that day. And apparently, in his culture, the day that Red Star expanded, it took out his home world. And some of his people decided to stay there. They didn't want to go to another colony, they just chose to die. And because they're a telepathic race, they felt each other dying. And it's still something they remember as a very solemn day for them. And it's even now hard for me to choke back the tears, but I felt that with him. And that's kind of what it's like. So there's parts of this residue memory that I know aren't mine, but they come from this person that I had this sharing of my mind with and consciousness with. That's still there, and it's emblazoned in part. It's like ingrained in me. I can't forget it for some reason. But under certain conditions and certain people asking me questions, sometimes I pull out more of these memories, and they come back, and it's like sometimes really cool, sometimes surprising, sometimes sad, like I just told you about. But that's what I'm referring to, is that's what keeps getting revealed over time, is that those kinds of memories of the discussion I had, there was a more deeper part. And I think part of that Red Star history was the way it feels to me when I remember that was that he was telling me this story of him and his people, like him telling me about who he is, like we had done some sort of an introduction with each other that I don't fully recall, but I do remember that one. Um, and that's kind of where it comes from. But that's something maybe other people that have had a telepathic experience can kind of shed some more light on. But that's what it did to me. So hopefully that kind of expands on a little bit as to why the conversation was one piece of it, and then there's other pieces that kind of came out afterwards.
Yeah, that's fascinating. Thank you. Just a quick follow up. Um, those bits of pieces, like for example, the death of his home star. When you recall that, do you have access to that as a visual memory or just kind of the narrative of it? So, for example, some people have a memory of something happening, but sometimes other people sometimes have a memory simply that something happened descriptively. Is it more of a narrative, or do you actually have access to kind of visual sensory data of that memory?
It's all of it. It's like they were watching their world die from a distance, and the star began to consume the planet, and they could feel people dying, and I felt the people dying with them. So it was like the full experience. Like if you and I were all connected right now and happened to be be in the radius of a nuclear bomb, but we didn't want to leave our loved ones, that's what it felt like. If you could share that mind space one amongst another, collectively, um, it's a shared experience. So you get the full Monty. You get the visual, you get the sounds, the feelings, all of it. It's really, I can't explain it. It's so foreign to our language to think that way or feel that way, and for me, it's very difficult to describe if I couldn't even begin to describe what it feels like, the emotion, um, and the pain that they were going through all together at the same time.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that's powerful. And just to clarify, so this is not through hypnotic regression at all, right? This is like through conversation with people that the fragments come to you?
Yeah, the UAP task force was just, asking me questions about the things that I had provided to them. And one of them was the star map, and that's where it came to my mind because they pressed me on the Red Star. And when I thought about it, because initially I was like, no, I don't remember any, like I said, and then all of a sudden this memory came into my mind. And I was like, holy crap, what am I feeling right now? And I was overwhelmed, and I felt sad. Had a very difficult time getting through that because that was the first time. And they actually heard me cry too that first time.
Well, thank you for sharing that. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
I got a question I was going to ask about kind of the mentality of the people in the program, like the rationalization for why they maintain this secrecy. I just want to understand their point of view, and like in the hopes that we can maybe argue against their rationalization.
It's not so much an argument. I think it's more of an agreement. I think most of the people that are in the leadership positions are doing what they feel is right, and in the way that they grew up in the traditions and in the program. And I think it's the leadership, though, that, you know, all of the people underneath have to abide by the rules of classification. And really, it's the top leader that is that cognizant authority that has the sole responsibility to either declassify something or reveal something or read somebody in. They can delegate only so far, but the people that are delegated that authority are also bound by those same rules. So I think the only way that they will hear what we're talking about is if they're tuning in to what we're saying right now, and or hearing a recording thereof that, hey, you know, I was in the program, I'm talking to people about the program, and I'm not trying to do it in a bad way, but I'm trying to get to a better spot. And I get all the pieces of the puzzle, but there's parts of this that are totally unclassified. I know it and you know it. Is kind of the discussion that needs to happen, and then discuss, you know, well, why did you do this? I mean, because it'd be one reason, and they need to be honest with us that at that level, that are you doing this because you were handed this as a tradition and a culture, or is this because you logically were briefed that this is the only way it can be, or not? Or is this something that is just off the table because the NHI want it this way? You know, and just have that honest conversation. That's what needs to happen. Because I know, like, a good starting point for that discussion, if any one of them wants to come forward in either a classified setting or in public, I don't care. But I would be glad to sit down in a room with them, with other people that are concerned about the issue, and just say those kinds of things to them, and just say, well, let's discuss this, you know, because I know the NHI are not using our classified system. As a matter of fact, told the opposite is true. So let's at least talk on that level without touching anything else about technologies and weapon systems, because I think starting on the technology and the weapon systems would be a bad starting point, because there's definitely roadblocks in that discussion. But the revelation.
What are the roadblocks with the technology? Just, you know, say it out loud.
Real quick, Arthur, if I could walk it back a bit, you shared something that was super emotional, I could tell, and I just wanted to take a moment to say I appreciate you for sharing that emotion with us. And you mentioned telepathy and feeling the other emotions. Since you had that experience, do you feel more like empathetic and intuitive, like with people as well? Because I find like there's an uptick in just people becoming more empathetic and sympathetic towards each other, and I wonder if it has anything to do with the phenomenon. Yeah, and then also too, how has it been getting support for your experience? Like, where could the government and like the society do better to support people, and like where have you got support too? I think that's important.
Well, the first part of your question is, thank you for, you know, supporting me. That, yeah, it's an emotional thing, yes. And like I said, it's very hard to describe any of that, but the support has to come. Well, my support has come from other whistleblowers, and like David Grush and all the other people, and great people like Chris Mellon and Gary Nolan. Everybody's trying to be, you know, helping me through this walk, where everybody else can help. Excuse me, is to continue to support, but beyond that, other people like myself who don't feel they have any support or have a landing zone, because I got out of the program, they're still stuck in it. They got no landing place for their career, for any health care. I know I went through some traumatic stuff. I know that there's others that have been through worse and need, more care than they're being given. And I want to say that that's the part where we as people need to get together at an appropriate time to maybe push for some of that. Because I know when I came out to even testify, Congress was unwilling to pay me for that. I had to pay on my own dime. So it was there was a few $1,000 because I flew all the way in from Hawaii to do that. But the rules are that, we don't pay for whistleblowers to come because that's a bad, it looks bad to pay somebody to come and whistleblow. So they just don't do that. And I get that. So that's where I think that's a third party needs to be involved. Somehow that's where the American people can help with that, because they can do things that or set up organizations that the government cannot. Because the government is the government, and I get it. They shouldn't be paying for people to come and snitch on programs and stuff like that. Yeah, it does look bad. You can't do that and not knock down your credibility. So I guess I'm kind of feeling like I didn't answer the first part of your question. Can you restate that?
Yeah, my first part was just, since your experience where you experienced this telepathy, have you just felt overall more intuitive and empathic, like in your life, like with people?
Oh,
Do you feel like
yeah, I kind of
a
do.
better sense, kind of?
Yeah, honestly, I don't know whether it's because I'm actually feeling them more than I did, or that I just, you know, am more empathetic. But yeah, I've cried a lot more than I ever used to as a young man, because, like I told you, my childhood absolutely sucked. If I showed any weakness, I'd get beaten, and I learned to hide it a lot. Even my pain, physical pain, it's hard for me to show that to people. Um, but after this incident, that changed me a bit, and at least on a social level, I cry more for them, and I get on my knees more when I pray, and really, and at a rope's end kind of a thing, and really want something to change for the better. So yeah, I'm more empathetic in general. Whether it's telepathic or not, I just don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't say like full on telepathy, but I have noticed when experiencers, sometimes they become more like just empathetic and just relate more to people. It feels like, I don't know. But we got tons of hands. I'm not sure who is next. I think it
I
was
mean,
Jay Just.
I think you guys can hear me now. No, can you guys hear me?
Hey,
Okay, cool. I noticed you sound like you have childhood trauma, and I think this is something that every single person that has experienced the phenomena, every single one of them have childhood trauma, which I find interesting. What is the fascination with childhood trauma and the paranormal or phenomena anyway? What do you think the connection is there?
well, gosh, it was horrible to go through it, but at the same time, it gave me a numbness to the pain to a certain degree, um, to the point where even when it got really bad, when we went to me and my family reunited with my dad after a long separation, uh, to see if my mom and my dad could mend the fences, it got really bad. It got even worse than it ever had before. But when it came to the divorce, within a couple of years' time, I was the only one willing to stay with my dad, and everybody else felt like I was a traitor. But my dad, when he finally rehabilitated, he said that the only reason he feels he made that was because he had my love. Um, so there was a strength in that. I think that, yeah, the pain was bad, but the result was that I got my dad, at the end. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I find it interesting. Your dad went through a like a 12-step program, right?
Yeah, whatever AA was all about at that time. Like I said, it took him. He went through 10 years of it, up and down, relapse after relapse.
Yeah, I mean, I had to go through a lot of I had to do that pretty early in life. Like I had by the time I was 21, I had 3 DUIs. You know, I was a heroin addict, and I had to go through all that stuff pretty early in my adult career. And there was some lessons I had to learn about some deep lessons about who I was and like stuff that I wouldn't have learned until I don't think much later in life that I really needed to learn. Stuff that was really important. Stuff that I
Yes.
think that
Yes.
a lot of people don't learn
Yeah.
later in life about just learning to deal with reality on reality's terms and just accepting them, not running from your feelings and not trying to numb them by masking them with alcohol or whatever it is you're trying to run from. It's just learning to feel your feelings, and that's something that I had to learn how to do. And it's touching. Your dad really sounded like he learned that lesson. And
Yeah.
really hear it.
Yeah, there's a lesson to be learned when you reach the bottom of your own well, as they say. I think the one thing you really learn is not to fool yourself anymore, because I think he was just, pretending up until that point when he finally realized I'm the problem. And you literally break at that point. You're in your own mind. You're like, I am a piece of crap. I am not treating my wife the way I should. Look at what I did to my family. Look how many times I beat my son, and here he is, the only one standing here now. That starts to really shake your world. And I think that's what people need sometimes, is you need to really realize, what the hell are you doing to yourself, to the people around you? And if you don't have somebody loving near you to absorb all that destruction, yeah, you can end up in a really bad way or even die. So there's something to be said about the person going through the experience, and then there's something to be said about the people that are actually the victims. Some victims end up scarred for the rest of their life. Me, I chose the path of forgiveness and love. I was because my mom didn't speak to me for years, honestly. She always looked at me like I was a traitor for years. And then when she finally realized that I'm still the same son she knew, and that I loved her just as dearly as I ever did, and she flat out asked me, "Why did you do that? Why did you side with him?" I'm like, "Mom, it wasn't about siding with you or siding with Dad. I just knew he wasn't going to make it if nobody stayed with him. And I knew that he needed love more than anything else. And I knew none of you had that ability at that point. And I was the only one. And I just thought, I have to be the person in the gap." And I said, "That's as simple as I can make it. It's not because I hated you or anything. It's because I knew he needed something. He needed someone." And that's that's the same thing in every one of our lives. You're needed by someone, or someone needs you. And you we change each other's lives every day, and it's just that profound. Honestly, that simple and that profound. It's very simple, but it's very profound. Any one of us can have a discussion tonight, or something I say, or something one of you all say, and it'll mean the world to you, and it'll change your life in that second. And then the rest of your life, you learn from that point on to become a better person. And really, it starts with that one simple thought: are you willing to reach out to an alcoholic dad, or a friend of yours, or somebody who's having trouble, and maybe brash as hell, but they need somebody to just reach out and just kind of, do what I did for my dad, and just forget about all that and realize that, yeah, it's not going to be easy, but I'll walk this walk with you. Honestly, that's all it takes. Very simple. It's a very simple choice, but hard to do.
Yeah, forgiveness is super important. And gratitude. So yeah, God, I think God, Sauce, you had your hand up. I'm sorry you didn't get to speak before, but here you go, brother. Glad to see you.
Hey, thank you, man. I've been having a rough morning with lots of pain. Yeah, I just wanted to speak on a few things, and 5 subjects have come and gone. We're in a totally new space now, and even now, it's like fuck, man, I wanted to say a lot of things. It's interesting that we're talking about the fear of losing a career for things. A lot of us have been lifelong survivors of abduction, of encounters, of visitations. I want to ask Mr. Jason Sands. It's nice to meet you. I want to
Thank you.
ask you. I want to ask you if you think most of us have a career, have insurance, have money, backers, investors, have proper medical care for the things that we've gone through, and why you think these people should have empathy for trying to hold on to that after a lifelong career. They've gotten plenty. And it's time for
Yeah.
them to fucking open up about this stuff. Because we're suffering. And we don't have the kind of insurance and backers and investments and all this like lifelong career network, all this stuff. I'm sorry, but I'm like, I don't know. It's very upsetting, you know.
It
And
is.
yeah.
Well,
Sometimes life's just fair.
well, go ahead. I get what he's getting at with the question, and I'd say, yeah, there's always a victimhood to be seen, and that there's always something and someone or somewhere in government that is unwilling to help. I've definitely felt that numerous times. I've even wondered where my career is going. I'm doing that right now. I'm switching jobs again, so I don't know where I'm going to end up. And it may just be because I am associated with the UAP community this time around. But yeah, I get it, and I just want to know how can we set that up so that there is a safe place for people, and that how do we make our government more honest? Because we have enough money, we have enough resources, but it seems that we're not spending the money on us. We're spending the money on others rather than us first and then reaching out. Because as you know, I can give a lot more to charity if I have my house in order. And right now, our house is not in order. It's all over the damn place, governmentally. And that's one of our biggest hindrances, I think, in our own society, because we're the most charitable nation on earth. I don't know if all you people know that. We give way more to all sorts of countries every year. I mean, you're talking trillions and trillions of dollars more than any other nation on earth. And we've very rarely been paid back for it either, even though people have promised. So that's a form of what you could call, in some other people's lives, well, that's socialism. Well, no, it's not. It's charity. You know, well, it's a sharing of wealth. Yeah, you're right. It's charity sharing of wealth, not socialism, like we all are going to be living on breadcrumbs just so the elite can have the rest.
We're on breadcrumbs. Like, this is what
right.
we're getting from disclosure.
Right.
Like, I'm nearly 30 years deep.
Right, but at the hands of who? It's at the hands of the elitists, right? The ones that just can't get enough. And that's the problem, is how do we put integrity back into these jokers and tell them, look, no, yeah, we'll pay you, more than what the regular Joe Blow does, but 1,000 times more than every Joe Blow is kind of exorbitant. I don't care how important you think you are, but at a certain level, you need to realize you're asking for a hell of a lot. I get that you feel you earned it all, and yeah, I would feel the same way if I'd made myself $1 billion or $1 trillion, but I would certainly only take what I needed to subsist and live a lifestyle that was, not too outrageous, but just, something I knew I wanted to live throughout my life and be with my grandchildren, that kind of thing. I don't need 10 freaking houses all over the stinking world to feel like I've finally made it, and then still want more houses. I find that kind of very bad, but it ends up looking a lot like the socialist society in the end, because in the socialist society, it's the elites that are taking everything. And you look at our society, it's the elites that are taking all the resources and the money. And it's all the monopolies and the big money makers that are making the people vote, or saying, damn the people's vote. You do what I do, and I'll give you, $10 million for your campaign. And, who are we to stand up against that? I can't make $10 million and tell them, shut your mouth, go home.
This is free. Comparison is the thief of joy. And they are looking at people like Bezos and Gates, and they're saying, I don't have enough. I am not joyful. I cannot speak joyfully to my group of humans who so desperately need this information and want this truth to be spread. I cannot express myself joyfully because I need so much more, because I'm comparing myself to these men for money. And it's like, holy shit, man.
Yeah, well, most of them are very charitable as well, so I'm not going to bash on any of them.
No. Bash. Bash. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, it's just, it comes with great responsibility as well. And I think some of them do a better job of that than others. I will admit that, yeah. But I also know of some real snakes in the grass that are just like big companies out there in even our nation that would literally harm thousands, hundreds of thousands of us just to make another few dollars.
That's terrible.
It is.
Jay, just
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a few questions, if allowed. First question is, the orbs. Do you know anything about the silver orbs that seem to be what Patrick Jackson says is a defense system?
Oh, those. Yeah, I read up on that too. No, if that's going on, it would be a new system altogether than what I've been familiar with. I do know that there was a part of the program that is in space, but it didn't deal with these orbs. I think this is a new thing, what Patrick is bringing up. So he's going to have to defend his own points on that.
Well, I think he thinks it's NHI protecting our planet. Do you think it's ours or NHI?
Oh, yeah, that could be a possibility. I would say that during any kind of an era of change, that we can expect both sides of the NHI fence line to show up, the bad ones and the good ones. And that could be one of the signs, is that they will show up like they have been, and there's going to be more and more flaps where there's an increase in activity. And then you just have to wait to see what the intent looks like. I mean, if it looks like it's good, then it means one thing. But if it looks like they're being threatening, that's quite another. And you have to be careful what you say is threatening, though, because if they think any one of the governments here on the face of the earth are threatening nukes, I think they've already made their choice about nukes quite clear on the NHI side back in the 60s, that they don't like nukes and they don't want us to test them and they don't want us to throw them around. And I think that would be the one thing that would set off a war of the world, so to speak, because they do not want to see that happen at all. Because they see the planet as being precious, even more precious than probably what we think it is. And
Seems like they're protecting their herd. I don't see this as good. I think it's all flavors of bad.
well, we're not so much a herd, that the planet itself is a precious thing, and we included on that we are the indigenous species of it, and we deserve our path forward is what they might be protecting, not because they're coming here to turn us into hamburgers.
Okay, my other question was, do you know how many species there are of NHI?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I think in general, I know of only 3 for sure that I heard spoken of. I've heard,
Can you tell us who they
yeah,
are?
the tall whites, the grays, and the reptilians. Those were all mentioned on mission while I was tenured in the program. Now, the others, I think within the galaxy of the Milky Way, I think there's like 18 is what I've heard is the number. But when you look at the entire universe, you're talking there's trillions of others, to the point where whatever you imagine a life form could look like actually exists out there. That's how diverse it can be, mathematically speaking, because it's just beyond our imagination. And that could be what's going on, and that the way to make it to the next level, or the interplanetary level, is that I think maybe you have to meet certain criteria before you're fully accepted. And we just are not there. We're not fully accepted yet. And maybe that's what they're waiting for. Maybe that's what part of this presence is with the orbs and stuff is that maybe they think, well, this is a time that maybe they will come to a new beginning, or maybe this is the time when we can help them finally, because they finally ask in the right way. Maybe that's part of what's going on. And at the same time, the ones that don't like us are thinking, well, how can we ruin this for them and turn them back into the reprobates that they deserve to be? That could all be going on as well.
I'm gonna cut in here real quick.
Thank you.
Jason, when you were in the program, can you speak on like knowledge of that you guys had of other countries' programs like China or Russia?
They're not in the other countries. I never heard any of that ever taking place. I think they have retrieved some of the craft, but I don't think they've been successful with it. And I don't think the NHI really wanted to be involved with them because of the tyrannical nature of their leadership in some of those countries. China may actually, in the ancient past, have had a more acceptable society at a certain point, but they lost their way within this last decade or last century. And I think that they've lost contact, if anything.
Yeah, what were they doing in the past that was so like they were just like more honorable back then, right? I know like was it Japan that holds like those special like tools that only the emperor can see? You think those are like the NHI gifts?
Man,
You hear a crazy echo going, Logan.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Guy Springthorpe.
Yeah, I think I fixed it. Is it gone now? It should be gone now. So you know, like the Japanese emperor, he holds these gifts that were given to him by like I don't know, some higher being. Right? That's the legends. That the emperor can only see them like it's like some mirror and some like tools or something that you know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah. I would say that, yeah, when you get past about 5,000 or more years, there seems to have been an era in ancient history where the South American tribes, Indonesian areas, Tibetan areas, Chinese, it seems like there were certain people had real contact. Like they walked among us, just like, you hear all the ancient legends that gods walked among us. And even in the Bible, it states that that's true, that they were considered giants, men and women of great renown. So, yeah, it's quite possible that some of them had tools given them to, keep contact. Because, well, you have that portal down in South America, right? Where they still go out there and do all their chakras and stuff like that. And same thing goes on in India and China as well. They have a lot of tradition that says that they had literally been given tools to stay in contact and communicate and be able to see things that others could not. And it seemed to have been given to the emperors of the day and that's why the bloodlines, I think, a lot of times were considered sacred. It's because they were the ones that actually had the contact with these extraterrestrials at the time. And so, yeah, the bloodline was very important because that portal or that mirror was handed down from, father to son for probably many, many years. So,
you know that thing you're talking about is the Puerta de Hayamarca, right? Like I think it's by Lake Titicaca. It's like the gate of the gods, like this like door shaped thing in in a big rock, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, it has like really well engraved areas and stuff in there. Just things that are really hard to, to explain, let alone what shape and what was there, what was attached to the side of that hill that was that big and required that kind of fitting to be put onto it. It just makes you wonder.
Yeah, places like Petra. Like, what's going on in Petra? I don't know. Sorry about that. I don't mean to derail the conversation. Who's next? I don't know. Ocean and Panda.
It's Guy, me, QFO, then GJS.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask Jason. two things. Like are you aware of the 1922 Germany channeling that they did with the Vril and I think it was the Anna V, I think it was, and they had two mediums that channeled like anti-gravity inventions and so forth, and even going to India, the guy who channeled the Vimana mantras, I think, and he channeled one of the, can't remember which leader it was. He was the guy who dealt with the rockets and stuff back before the American Revolution or the American War. And also, what are your thoughts on Robert Bigelow? Have you had any interaction with him? He's been kind of in control for like 30 years with the narrative, and when you've been saying about donating money to certain leaders to grant them elections, he's been one of the major players. He put loads of money in Thingy's bank, in Trump's bank, in I don't know what the other guy's called who didn't go through, but yeah, he's been putting through since 1990, I think, or 1989, when he did the Roper data poll with John Alexander.
Yeah, I would say that you're on track and that those are all possibilities. I mean, honestly, we're still kind of doing what was going on with the Nazis and them trying to dig up the ancient texts on things that were going on, and somehow they believed that that's where some of the super weapons were going to be discovered, right? Because they stumbled on some things and they started to see some of the writings go, yeah, these are the UAP that we see in the sky. Maybe this has already been a part of the culture. And we're kind of thinking the same thing with all of our talk of like the ancient aliens, what have you. So yeah, there's probably some things there that, yeah, it could be possible that we've had contact earlier on, but now that contact is being put to the wayside because it seems like there's been a concerted effort to hide all of that stuff and to wipe out that part of the history. It seems like there's been like a scratching of all that history so that maybe we could stop and do some more reflection rather than going after technologies and other things that are frivolous. And I think maybe that might be more of what's going on with the Illuminati and other things like that, is maybe they see a better future by slowing that down, all the technology down, and trying to take a breath and just get to know who we are for a while. And maybe some of that is based on some of that historical stuff, but that's just conjecture on my part. I'm not an expert by any means. I'd ask somebody like Dolan, who actually has been out there for a while and done some archaeological digs, and Eric von Daniken, definitely, he's a great scholar as well. Matter of fact, he's the only book as a child that I remember that really opened my eyes to, another possibility of archaeology. So it's quite possible, though, that that's something that the Germans latched into as well. So yeah, I agree with you on that part.
Well, that's the thing as well. There's a lot of documentation about the production of actual craft. There was like 62 craft created in Germany. The BMW factory and the Fiat factory in Italy were both linked together and both creating. And the Horton brothers were creating the single winged fighters. There was one of the discs, apparently it had 500 hours on it, and one flight of it was an 11-hour flight, and there's loads of information on that. But like you say, it's all been scrubbed out, and we're not allowed to look at it. We've been brainwashed to think that if we look at that stuff, it's evil because of what atrocities they committed. But on the other hand, dropping nuclear bombs on a population which is basically surrendered and defeated, not just once but twice, is just as evil as what the atrocities that they did. You know what I mean? It's one hand on the other. It's one of those.
Shouldn't be pointing fingers when pointing a finger at yourself, not fingering yourself. Please don't think I said that. But Yeah, you need to
Don't
point a
worry,
finger
we
at
won't
yourself
flip it.
before you go pointing it. Yeah, before you go pointing it at
Wow,
anybody else.
Red Panda.
Yeah.
I hate to be this rude and interrupt. I want to make sure we're not pulling you away from a previous commitment. So please stay here. We love you here. I feel like I'm going to be crucified just for saying this. But if you promised Diener that you were going to show up, I don't want you to experience missing time in Logan spaces. It's easy to spend 24 hours here straight.
No, I wasn't gonna. I was just gonna listen this time around, but I figured, you guys were asking, hey, can you say something more?
No, we want you. We want you here. I just don't want you to feel like betrayed or deceived by us that we like ran out the clock and didn't want you to show in Dieners. You know what I mean?
That was honorable of you, Doomer Daddy.
Yep.
Thanks, dude.
Oh,
You're
I
so
felt like
compassionate.
nobody would forgive me, but I just wanted to make sure we're good. You know.
We're
No.
good. It really is honorable of you, Ulrich.
Yeah. Diener and I have an agreement that I put him in shock the other day, and he's going to take time to digest, just like everybody else that I've talked to in depth. And he knows he can talk to me anytime, and we really hit it off. We have a lot in common. So Diener and I, we have a lifetime now to look forward to just talking, the same as any other friend of mine will, and you guys too, for that matter.
Awesome. When you say you put him in shock, that's not regarding like ontological shock. You don't have some juicy dark doomer stuff.
No,
Okay.
just opening up the doors to some other areas. I mean, I even held back on him, and I told him so. And I said, I'm not even telling you the weird stuff. And he's like, really? I was like, yeah, really. So I know that what I told him, like he said, it was a wide-ranging conversation. And we just kind of went where our hearts led us. And it really set the groundwork. But it takes a while to parse some of what I said, because we talked for a good while, just like we're doing today. It's going to take a while to parse through.
Hey, Jason, just two quick points. Yeah, you mentioned about the need for a third
Randy.
party. Yes. Yes. Okay, Jason, you mentioned the point about the need for a third party. I keep mentioning the need for Congress. We need to get rid of that middle aisle. That's just a sign of decisiveness. So I agree with you 100% on that point. That's just really not a good thing for our country. The second point is, I've been abducted by blue aliens. So, I hear, talk about you with the blue aliens. It wasn't really a positive experience for me. So, I'd like to talk to you later, like in a more private with Steve with you or something like that. But yeah, it's happened throughout my childhood since 1967.
Yeah.
I'm turning 65 now, so it's happened many times. Actually, it was involved with the death of my son.
Wow.
A year later, after I shot the craft, after I pulled out some implants and moved to Ohio. I thought they wouldn't find me, and they did. So I have some military experience like yourself, and I took my rifle and shot the craft, and they hit me with a blue beam, and then I suffered with migraines since then. But yeah, not a positive thing. So, but anyway, it's not about me; it's about you today. So I appreciate you, but I have had experience with blue beings. And I've done reverse hypnosis, and that kind of brought on some PTSD. Just kind of like the trauma of what I remembered is like, oh my goodness, they did this. So anyway, so thank you. I agree with you about the third party need.
Yeah, I'd like to figure out, how about the hostility part, because sometimes I've heard from other people that are abductees when they talk to me. Sometimes they say, well, I don't know whether the fear came from me or from them, but I did some things that maybe I shouldn't have done, and maybe that caused them to respond the way they did, and it just spiraled out of control at that point. And I'd like to talk a little bit more about the conditions you felt you were in.
Thank you, Jason.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, I'll take another few questions, and then I want to kind of watch some TV shows, relax before I go to sleep tonight. But
Mr. Sands, that Jason Dyer is hosting his space right now, talking about you. I think he thinks you're coming in there. I know a
Oh,
lot of people are in there kind of waiting for you. That's why I popped in over here. I'm like, are you going to be in
okay.
his
Let me
space?
jump.
Like, what space are you in? Because I want to
Okay.
be wherever the action is.
I'm gonna go hop on Diener's. Sorry.
Wait, can I ask my question? I've been waiting for like an hour, then my phone died.
Oh yeah. Go ahead. Let's do this. And
Real
then,
quick, rapid round with all the hands here.
Okay, I think I was next. Oh my gosh, I almost said a goose. They're in the middle of the road. Sorry. Okay, so I always ask people this because after doing research, I really think that obviously it's a spiritual phenomena. I don't think it's a space alien phenomena. So, and then the Drake equation you quoted earlier, that equation was created whenever they thought cells were balls of jelly. And as a biologist, I can tell you that cells are not balls of jelly. They have intricate machinery, and they've actually updated the Drake equation. And from the last paper I read, it was about the chances of there being other intelligent life forms at this very time are like, I don't know, very, very low. They're very, very low. They're not as high as people think they are, and life is not as common as you think it might be. It doesn't just spontaneously arise. We don't even have a working theory to how the first life arose in this universe. So just put that out there. But what is your best evidence that this phenomena is a phenomena of space aliens from another planet?
my evidence is just that I was standing 3 feet from one of them and 50 yards from the person's craft.
Right, and Ezekiel's wheel was an angelic being. It also had a physical craft, and that was an angel attached to it. So just because
Yep.
there are physical, UFOs and beings doesn't mean they're necessarily space aliens.
Right, and then I've had friends also that have had what I consider interdimensional contact, like and had strange things like he saw a being, and it came over and shook his hand, but it felt like his hand was vibrating, and I thought to myself and told him later, I said, I think that's interdimensionalism because we only have our flat side of our hand that we feel when we shake hands. But if it's interdimensional, there'd be more than one side touching you at the same time, and it would probably feel like a vibration, according to the way your nerves are set up. And then he also mentioned how the craft appeared far away when it was turned a certain way, and had other parts that were right next to him in other areas. Again, interdimensionality, and parts that could be seen, parts that were unseen. So we're dealing with things that are very, very much foreign to us and our understanding, because we've been taught from childhood that things have to be this way only, and there's no deviation. And I think that that's something that you have to release yourself from, and say, okay, the teachers didn't mean to do me wrong. It's just the best they knew. So it's time to release my mind now. I'm an adult, and I can get by without all of the bias now, and I need to rebuild all of this and take it as part of the data set, rather than just the God's honest truth.
Absolutely, and look up the CE4 research group with Joe Jordan, who worked at MUFON, found that calling on Christ stopped abductions, and I think this is one of the there's multiple pieces of evidence in my book, but this is one of the main ones that shows me it's purely spiritual, conjuring them with demonic rituals and things like that. And the Collins elite, who did elaborate research in, I think it was the 1900s, trying to figure out the nature of the phenomena, found it to be spiritual and even demonic in nature. So
Yeah.
Dr. Ray Boucher, who worked with the DoD, has some experiences he wrote down in academia. You can go read about it, but I think there's a lot of evidence there's more going on here, and I don't really see much evidence that they're from another planet. But yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I have not been to another planet as far as I know, but there are, like I said, just open your mind up, folks. I mean, we don't know what we think we know. Honestly, I found that out very early on in this program, that I didn't know what I thought I knew. But anyway, let's go jump on Diener, man. Let's do that.
Let's all go Space Raid Diener. Let's all go hype it up. Woo!
Yeah, he's gonna be wondering what the hell happened.
All right, sounds good, Jason.
All right,
Thanks,
bye.
Jason.
Yep.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out. Thank you for your service. We love chilling.
Yep.
So.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jason.
All righty. Talk to you a bit later. Bye.
Awesome, Logan.
Who is that guy again?
Beaner.
Well, that was fun. Logan, you don't have to close this space though.
I fell asleep. I'm sorry.
No, you're okay. I was just gonna tell Randy, thank you for sharing your experience too. I really do think it's very impactful, an impactful story on people. And you know, I'm just encouraging you to just don't be shy. Just keep sharing it, and you're doing great.
Thank you, Tater, for your support. Yeah, Jason just left Logan.
Why?
He went to the
There was
other
another
space.
space.
Take the other space. They thought he was gonna go there tonight, so he hopped over there.
Okay.
That guy, what's his name that came in here? He has like an alien. He's like trying to kiss an alien in his profile picture. Alien
Base or no?
sculpture.
Um.
He came in here and he said that they're waiting on him in another space. And he was the one that was interviewing those people during Contact in the Desert that was like on the space list, like talking to those people like live, you know.
Strader, John Strader.
Yes, him. He came in and he said that they're waiting on that dude somewhere else, so he left. It's okay. Logan, you always have the most notorious faces, I'm telling you.
Oh no, I'm not worried about it.
You're like a backbone if you have no Twitter.
I'm like
Well,
asleep.
I
So
think you're actually doing more than they are.
Yeah,
You know, I think
Jason.
that a lot of those people are focused.
Yeah, Jason actually wanted to go start watching some TV, and then all of a sudden John said, "Oh, they'll no, they're expecting you over there." He pressured him.
He was
You know, I
advertising.
know that they're pushing a narrative up there, so people for some reason like put more trust in people that work in these like positions. But honestly, I put less trust in those people. Like, why can't we just have people from MoveOn come in here? Like, why does it have to be always people that work for the government? And they're like, oh, I'm just telling you. They might not even know that they're like, they might just be told this information, right? And they might not even know, you know. But I just do not trust them. The CIA has been controlling media since who knows when. We know Twitter's a form of media. And I think that, you know, I just don't trust it. But and they all say the same thing, really. I mean, it's crazy. Like, why can't we
Yeah.
just get MoveOn investigators? Isn't there another UFO network too that like researches the cases, like people report it? Why can't? Where are
Get 'em.
those people? Where are they at? I would really love to have some.
There's
DM 'em.
there's like 50 MUFON investigators in each American state. There's like 2,500 of them altogether in America, plus all over the world as well. But I'm with you on that, Taylor. I have my dispositions. It's one of them. Still trust nobody. You know what I mean? Everybody still puts their blind trust in people. It's one of those. Just looking at the timeline of when he left the military and stuff, it's kind of the same time as when OSAP started, when the MUFON BAS collaboration started. It's all a bit strange. It's one of those. It come out way earlier than just right then. I'm sure OSAP would have looked at the case back in 2008, even 8. I mean, it's and all those people that are surrounded. It's all the same people that have been involved with all these task forces previously. So, but I'm not saying he's not telling the truth. I really hope he is. But I don't know. I just can't see anybody going against the NDAs that Bigelow puts down because he breaks people and takes all the money. Like he has done with Tom DeLonge and people like that. Yeah, he just disregards them and atomizes the companies and blitzes them apart. But I don't know. I don't know.
About to munch on some mozzarella sticks. Randy, I was going to say this earlier when Strader came in. Ever since he got that press pass, man. No, I'm just kidding.
Funny, huh?
People were like messaging me, getting mad, and I'm like, I'm trying to bring people up. I'm trying to help you. And then they got like, I guess they got booted from the room, but I checked, no one was removed. Like, people get so upset, like, as soon as someone comes in that like they want to talk to. It's like, I am doing my best. God damn it.
Yeah.
Just
By the
tell
way,
them,
you
man.
know,
All kinds of people. There's all kinds of people that want to speak, and it's like you just gotta chill.
yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like I was asleep, so like I'm afraid to look at my messages. People are like, I'm trying to come up, and when I woke up, Red wasn't even a co-host anymore. So what happened?
I've also been
I couldn't hear
smoking.
people. I couldn't hear
It was
Ocean and a
just the
few other people,
blind
so I was like,
leading the
fuck, I
blind
gotta
over
drop
here.
down.
It's like you're a co-host. It's like you're supposed to pay attention to the hands. It's like I had to go pay attention to the hands. Like, oh,
Randy, you're one of the best co-hosts that there are. You're so consistent.
thank you, Taylor. It's like
And
I just
Red
pay
and
attention.
Ocean are also really good.
I just pay attention to my phone screen. It's like I just think it's a social responsibility to the space, man.
And also, I
You
think too, if a
yeah.
conversation is flowing, like it's better to just let like two people kind of finish their little thought instead of it makes the conversation better. Like I feel like you get a better story, more information, if people can kind of let it naturally go. But yeah, I guess people get frustrated
The
if they
better
have
the
to wait.
empath,
But
the better the host.
Think if you're off like doing other, other online searches and stuff, and you're not paying attention to whose hands come up first, then you're not really serving the space properly.
that's true, Daddy Randy.
Especially when you have like Jason Sands in the space, man. It's like, come on.
Was he on TV or something?
This is the guy that's going to be in the James Fox documentary. James Fox accidentally revealed it by posting a picture from set, and it had Jason Sands' name on the little director thing. And then a few months back, he went into a space, and it kind of blew up. That space was huge. Leslie Keane and company were in there, and then there was all this drama back and forth on the upper tiers of is he legit? Is he not legit? Doty said no. Um, Danny Sheehan said he was uncontrollable, but he seems to be verified by everyone. I think Corbell even said his credentials checked out. There's just this weird narrative war around him coming out in the space, and now he's back.
When he said Eric Von Daniken is a notable archaeologist, I almost died, bro.
I need to deep dive him before I opine, because I do know there was a concerted effort to make ancient archaeology discredited, like ufology, and him being one of the main people there during the time doing it, there would have been an extra concerted effort to discredit him, but I haven't looked into it.
I saw your reaction, Taylor.
Oh yeah, I cringed a little bit when
Wasn't
I heard him
he
say.
doing witchcraft and then started talking about aliens out of nowhere? I mean, that's just weird.
Congratulations on triggering me over Eric Von Daniken.
He's a joke.
Hey, Carl.
I don't know about Eric Von Daniken. I just don't know.
I do. He was like a warlock, okay, doing magic and stuff, and then just poof. So all of a sudden we just started talking about aliens, writing about them, and I don't even know, whatever.
That Ray Boucher story, Taylor, is still one of my favorite ufology stories to listen to.
Dude, Post like post a link of it from academia. If you can put it on a PDF where people don't have to make an account, that'd be really cool. That's a really cool story. I know y'all cover new stuff, and I don't know if y'all cover like kind of like old stuff, but I think it's still a really cool story to read. A lot of information.
Boucher, Bobby Boucher,
Not
and how?
yet. Raymond Boucher, yeah, and
Foosball is
like
the dip.
it's not even like people just like, oh yeah, I have intel. Yeah, there's other aliens. There's free species. The same thing you hear everywhere. It's not just that. It's like he goes into detail about who like they contacted him at the DoD, like where he met them. He was able to take notes and write down some of the experiments they were doing, and he like I think tried to recreate the pictures. He said he saw people like on these like dentist looking chairs having these crazy experiments done on them, like they were trying to reach out to extraterrestrials. I mean, he has like actually in detail, like accounts from the DoD. Many of these people who claim to be whistleblowers say the literal same thing every time. It's so ridiculous, and then everybody looks up to them because they're in a position of authority. They don't say anything that nobody. They don't say anything that we don't already know. And like, what are they even like? They just say the same thing. I don't know. It's just crazy to me. I don't even know why we look up to them. Like, are they gonna reveal anything? I don't think so. Why are we even asking them questions? Like, they don't have any unique information.
You know what, Taylor? That's a great point. But I will say that the drip, and we just mull it over and like we just coast through. We just take these bits of information and just kind of don't react too hard. Well, or react hard, it doesn't matter. But most of us are here like sort of processing it in a like holistic way.
No,
Well, I think. Okay.
But
God
I was
source
just
was
going
kind
to
of
say,
bitter.
it magically turned up just as like the year passed on David Rush, and everyone's forgot about him now. He could have been in that documentary with James Fox. I mean, it's very strange.
Something's definitely up with him. I wish I could talk to him off the record or something and be like, yo, what's up with you? You sketched out by these people or what's going on?
Yeah, well, when like,
are you okay, bro?
That says when he left the army, the Air Force, sorry, based in Texas. That's where MUFON's headquarters was, and that's where they were getting, like, say, the Star Impact calls in. And the field investigators at MUFON, they were literally saying the data that they're getting is not going to them. It's the calls that they're getting, and people are following up on the calls, and even the digital channels that are going through, they're turning up on the systems, and then they're gone within like an hour. And that's the kind of exactly what he was explaining what he did for a living. It's kind of sus to me. And also the Sandia Labs information, that was also tied with OSAP as well. And Bigelow at the end of 2007, he literally stated he thinks he's got a counterintelligence problem in Bass. It's all, there's loads of things that kind of tie it together, tie the timeline together, and it's very, you know what I mean. It's just weird. It's just really weird. You come out on a Twitter space and then and put your stuff forward. I don't know. I can't get my head around it. I'm really struggling with it.
I like it. I'm with it. I stand with it.
Can we name one piece of information? Like, okay, so I guess I'll ask this question first. All these whistleblowers, like, what are they blowing a whistle on? Everybody, they say the same thing that History Channel says. They're not blowing any whistle. They're just regurgitating the same narrative and the same information.
But from a more official source, I guess, is the argument there. Or like it wouldn't make sense, right? If like what they're saying is true, like pockets of it would be peeping out here and there over the 80-year cover up, right? So like this idea of like, oh, they're just saying what's already been said. It's like, well, it kind of makes sense that like they're all kind of saying the same thing because it's what's been happening. But they
Well,
people like Grush,
yeah. I
people like
really
Grush are in a
like,
more position to know, I guess.
yeah. I really like Ray Boucher's story though, because he actually wrote down everything the DoD told him and he published it. And it's very unique about, like, you know, they were concerned at what they were doing. They were showing him pictures of these experiments. He was describing these experiments. Like, that's something unique that's really unique compared to what all these other people are talking about. And like, I was just gonna ask, like, have we got any, like, out of all those hours to talk to that guy, what information did we get that we already didn't have?
He stands with Tupa, that he wants a thick Nordic.
Okay. Anything else?
He did say that, yeah, that the Nords were particularly attractive.
Nothing. Okay,
That
he
weird
told us
mind melt
nothing.
thing. That mind melt thing about the end of the world of the other planet was really fascinating. That's obviously super hard to qualify, but
Yeah,
just
but
that, yeah.
I was going to say that that's nothing that I've been saying that happened to me since like I've come on Twitter, and when I was on Instagram, when I was on Facebook in 2016, I've been saying that exact same thing. That it was kind of a mind meld with the encounter I had. And it's like an automatic download, and like I said, it's only 3 species, but then he's saying the Nordics and blue species and other ones. It's, I don't know. I'd like I said, I'd like to look back on it, but it's one of those. There's many more important people that have come out and disclosed lots of information and never really got traction. I mean, these people have just been shot off, murdered, lost. Even going back to James Forrestal, even General Patton as well. James Forrestal was sectioned. He was given the all clear, but still remained in hospital. Then he was kind of committed suicide out of a 16th floor window and landed on the 11th floor window. You're talking about the guy who was promoted to the Secretary of Defense from the Secretary of Navy six months before that. You know what I mean? That was because he wanted to disclose it, and he was part of MJ12, and that was what they were going to do. And they didn't. Like I say, all the research, all the information it's there for the taking, but these people are pushing something that we shouldn't want. All the information is there in our past, and all you have to do is actually look deep into it, and you'll find every answer you want. And you just got to put common sense and logic together. Congress aren't going to do shit. They've done shit for 70 years, 8 years. What are they going to do now? They're going to disclose that they've lied for 8 years and they've treated us like shit and slaves and made us work for a living and fucking kill each other and all this shit. Get addicted to drugs. It's fucking bullshit. It really is. And I'm sick of it, me. I mean, they've been playing a game with us and they're still playing this game, and people are falling for it.
Real quick, Jonathan Crusoe was hosting that space with that guy who wrote that book about the Zodiac cult thing. I'm gonna go hop over there for a bit, but I'll be back later. Peace out, yo.
Take care, Panda. Hope it's fun over there.
Do they have good snacks at the zoo?
Hey, Ocean, I never showed you that birthday song I made for you, did I?
Oh, I did hear one birthday song. What was it remixed with now? I can't remember. You should probably just play it again.
I don't know. Just kidding. It was Drops of Jupiter, something bear.
Yes, Drops of Jupiter remix. I remember it now.
I'll find it.
I blew it, Logan. Man, I woke up. I saw Shane was in here. I said, "Oh man, no, I'm not gonna go back to sleep." So I slept for a couple more hours. I had no idea Jason Sands was in here. I didn't even read the title of the space. My loss.
Well, this was supposed to be the post Sands space, but then he showed up again. So now we need to like shut it down and have a post
Yeah.
Sands space,
Oh,
and just hope that he can
Yeah,
hang out
well,
long
I
enough
woke
for
up
us to have to close.
like 10 a.m., which was like 7 a.m. Logan's time, and Logan had a space going, and I saw, Shane was in it. I said, "Oh, Shane's got me blocked." It's like, well, screw this shit. So I said, I'm gonna avoid the drama. So I slept for 2 more hours. Got back on at 12, which is 9 Logan's time. And all of a sudden, it's like popping with Jason Sands. Like, what's happening, man? I'm missing it.
Now that she's back in the atmosphere with drops of Jupiter in her head. She acts like summer and walks like rain. Reminds me that there's a time to change.
I just want to point out that for anyone that doesn't know, this song is not the original song. Well, I mean, the beginning is, but
Why'd you stop playing it, Logan?
am I muted or something? Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you.
Why is Taylor yelling at me? Anyway, I was trying to explain like this song is like not the original one. I changed it, so just look out for the change.
Since the return of her stay on the moon, she listens like spring and she talks like June. But tell me, did you sail across the sun? Did you make it to the Milky Way to see the lights all fading and that heaven is overrated? Tell me, did you fall for a shooting star? One without a permanent scar, and then you missed me while you were looking for yourself out there. For 31 years, a journey spun, a soul so bright. With every thread of laughter, every tear shed through the night. You've woven strength, a spirit bold, a heart that beats so true. Today we celebrate you, ocean. It's all for you. Tell me, did you sail across the sun? Did you make it to the Milky Way? See the lights all fading, and that heaven is overrated. Tell me, did you fall from a shooting star? One without a permanent scar, and then you missed me while you were looking for yourself out there. Ocean, ocean, always gonna stay. Ocean, ocean, leaving her mark on this place.
All about you, Ocean.
That was fucking beautiful.
We love you.
Yeah, not to be like egocentric or
We
anything, but I
love you,
love it so
Ocean.
much. See, like you could totally make little tunes for people. People pay for that. Like, hey, make a song for my wife for our anniversary. Like, bam, $5. Like, yeah, because those are amazing. I'm just saying, like, that is worth money, is what I'm trying to say.
$5. You guys gotta live, man. $50.
It's worth money to the band that
50
actually won.
cents.
I'm a cheap bitch, so sorry.
That was badass though.
That's amazing.
Also, the Milky Way revealed to me that we have the power to manifest our own great reality. So no one's gonna come and save us, but we can do it ourselves.
Yeah, so just think of any song that you can think of. Any song you can think of. I can make it about anything you want it to be.
Sweet Home Alabama.
Am I muted? Can you guys hear me?
No, I can hear you. Sweet Home Alabama.
Oh, okay. Sure. Yeah, that's fine. Any song you can think of, make it about anything you want it to be about. Yeah, just let me know. But yeah, there was another one I made actually. That one was something that Taylor
I have a request.
had thought of that I said, let's try it out. But I never really finished really making it until like just a little while ago. But yeah, what's the request?
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were trying to think of a song for your birthday. We're trying to think of something special to do, and I don't know. I thought that'd be cool. It turned out really good. Okay, so this would be crazy. Okay, I'm trying to think of the two most different topics, but like dealing with disclosure, just or something like that. Okay, so try to do the song "Little" like "Lollipop" by Lil Wayne, and make it like about like abductions or something. I can't even imagine what that would be like. But anyway, that's an idea.
Maybe like you could have dinosaurs eating UFOs or something. Those are like two really polarized things.
At the sound of the ack, it will be 5:15 local Logan time. Ack.
No homo. I say he's so sweet, think I wanna lick the rapper. So I let her lick the rapper. She lick me like a lollipop. Yeah. She lick me like a lollipop. Lollipop. She lick me like a lollipop. Yeah. She lick me like a lollipop. Lollipop. Yeah. Bottles in the club. Yeah. Shawty wanna hug. Yeah. You want me to touch. Yeah. Nothing ain't lunch. She lick me like a lollipop. Shawty wanna fuck. She lick me like a
So like I can make that song like all about like UFOs or whatever. Dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Dude, that's a middle school slap. Holy shit.
Well, you need to do a UFO Paradise, man. Cool deal.
You just need a really good hook. So you need like to find one catchy like good hook that's about like I don't know, dinos riding saucers or something. And then once you have that hook, then it'll be good.
I had an idea for one. It would be great. You do a parody on Rainbow Connection by Kermit the Frog, except instead of it saying why aren't there any songs about rainbows, you have it say why aren't there any songs about aliens? Because there's not. Like there's really not that many.
Good point. I like how you're thinking. I don't know how the fuck I never heard your story, Randy. Like that was crazy.
Oh, never have, Arthur?
I don't know. Maybe I'd have. And my brain's a little foggy in some places sometimes, you know.
Oh, one of these days we have to plan a space with Logan. I'll tell it, okay? I usually like to tell it when my son's door is closed because I don't really want him to know about it. He'll probably want to move out if he knows about what happened.
Oh, it's voice isolation. God damn it.
Was anything good released today at 4:55?
What do you mean?
Well, they normally release something at the last minute on Fridays, and so they can't respond to it until Monday. The White House or someplace in the government and DOD or something.
I think it's Trump's birthday today.
See, another tragic story.
I'm not sure. I haven't checked the news, but I feel like 2024 is when we've entered like this age of chaos or something.
It's the age of Aquarius, baby. Everything you didn't want to know is now known.
Sure doesn't feel like there's an election in 6 months.
Year of Karma, 8.
So what did Jason have to say when he came back for the second session? Anything good?
His wife doesn't have an opinion about which NHI are hottest.
And it's
Yeah,
Ocean's
I
so
didn't mean to.
fixated
I
on
didn't.
this love triangle.
I didn't even actually mean that as a second question. And then he's like, actually, my wife doesn't have an opinion. And I'm like, all right, cool. I won't keep it going because I could. You know me.
Ocean, she'll take it to a second question.
Yeah, you don't want to know what my third and fourth questions
No,
are,
we
so I'll just
didn't. No,
stop.
we do not.
Share the microphone.
Maybe in a DM.
Well, as we all know, that DMs and spaces are open, so you might as well say it out front anyway.
I don't share DMs, people.
I would trust Randy to watch my house.
Me too. He would definitely make sure the cats had food and the dogs were let out for sure.
Clean your guns.
I was about to say, he'd make sure no one coming in that motherfucker.
Randy the Exterminator.
Clean the shotguns and feed the mouse.
What if we remix that song and it's like that thing looks like a bug, bug, bug. I'm about to grab my slug, slug, slug. That thing feels no love. I'm about to shoot it up. It's gonna lay on my rug.
That's my lovely lady lumps, is it not?
Oh yeah. Okay, so that's by Fergie though. I used to like freestyle with my friends sometimes, but now it just sounds ridiculous.
No, that's hilarious, but that's like the same beat though, hey? Is that other song? But no, that's funny.
Yeah, that AI thing's crazy though. Like the other day, I was playing like one of the spaces, and it made like this song, like somebody playing guitar. And then whenever somebody said that was AI, they were so shocked. Like that wasn't live just now. I think that these music artists are just using AI to write all their lyrics.
I mean, there has been a lot of like companies and things saying that they're going to start using AI more. I know that they did an entire credit sequence animation for the show Secret Invasion from Marvel, and it was done completely with AI, and you could tell, but AI is getting really good. It's getting very difficult tell what is AI and what isn't. So much so that Facebook has rolled out a thing now to identify when something is made by AI, just as like a precautionary measure, so that people know when something is AI art, which I think is a good thing, because, yeah, people kind of deserve to know when something is
Let's
AI
be
and when
honest.
something isn't.
Do y'all think our phones are reading our mind right now? Like, because I feel like, I mean, we probably all have it happen where you're thinking about something. And so now, whenever I'm searching for something on Amazon, I'll just be like, okay, like I'm looking for that thing that I just saw a minute ago. It looks like this. Like, I'll just start thinking it and then it'll pop up. Like, I don't know. It might just be like the placebo effect or whatever, but I don't know. I really think.
I've had that before where I've thought of something and then Google's recommended it to me.
Yeah, I didn't even talk about it. I just thought of it and it came up. Like, I don't even know. Do y'all think that's already rolled
Yeah,
out?
that's weird. That's very weird, but yeah, I've had that happen.
I don't know. I've trained YouTube ads to only show me pizza because if they show me other things, I'm like, I don't like this, and I skip it, and I'm like, do not show me this again, skip. And then when they show me pizza, I'm like, all right, and I'll watch it for like a little bit longer than the other ones, and now all I get is pizza. So
The
fuck
ads?
you, dating ads.
YouTube ads has gotten really bad. Like now, like it used to be that they would do only one ad and then you could kind of skip that and you were all good. But now they will do multiple ads, like one after the other, and then after those ads you can skip it. Or they'll be assholes and make it so you have to watch an unskippable ad that you have to watch the entire thing, and you can't use ad block, you can't use any of the usual things to get rid of it. It's a pain in the ass.
I never heard about your phone being able to read your thoughts, but I mean, if you think about it, every thought you have it vibrates at a certain frequency. If it's technically possible, I don't know, have any idea how you could do it, but I think that's possible. What you said.
Well, yeah, they have like these machines that pick up brain activity and they've been able to like decipher someone's dream and like see certain like objects and characters and animals based off of like brain activity, and then the person says, yeah, like I had a dream about this. So like it aligns it, like if you can read it from a machine, then like how far fetched is it that like an advanced technology would be able to read such like signatures from a distance, right? Like I don't think it's really that far of a leap, to be honest.
Yeah, I think you're right. I heard, I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard he could even like transmit thoughts in your head, but it's like this is like a suggestion. You know how you're always thinking to yourself when you're doing stuff, you're talking to yourself. It sounds like your own voice. I don't know if this is true or not, but has anybody else heard anything like that? They could transmit a thought in your mind.
Jason Sands did talk about that a little bit, and I did want to chime in at the time. I didn't, just talking about, yeah, like thought identification and like emotion identification is so important, like not even just for the phenomenon, like for your own self, but like especially if you feel like you're in contact with something that's like not you, being able to know like, is that like my thought? Like where'd that come from? I think that's like a really important skill, and I'm happy he mentioned that. Yeah.
I've got to shoot anyway, but before I do, I never heard him mention anything about near-death experience that he's ever had, or any like meditation or anything like that. And most people that I've spoken to that have had experiences, they are multiple experiences, not just a random one. They mainly have to meditate and channel ground the chakras and go through many things like that. Yeah. I hope it's true. I hope it's all true. But I say Always follow the number one rule. Learned off X-Files, man. Trust no one. It's as simple as that. But, anyway, I'm gonna shoot. Anyway, it's been really nice spending a bit of time with you guys. Take it easy.
Yeah, thanks for hanging, guy. Always love seeing you.
See ya.
Oh, the older I get, the more I understand that nobody knows shit about anything, really.
God source seemed to be kind of bitter.
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing my best, so I don't know what to say.
Yeah,
Right?
I mean, at the system, and Jason said, he thought that they're making sacrifices too. I mean, we don't know what we don't know. Sometimes what we think we know may not be really what is the reality.
Just got to keep an open mind. We can only run on the best information that we have. If I can't feel it, touch it, I don't really trust anything anymore.
I mean, there's a lot of people that are, are no, act like they're knowers, and if they all knew the truth, well, it'd be impossible because they would interfere with each other, So how can it be so?
You know what wrecks my brain actually? Because I've been rewatching X Files, and it sort of hints at this various times throughout the show. Is the possibility that there's like some kind of storage unit somewhere that the Pentagon has that just has like a bunch of alien artifacts put safely on a shelf where no one can see them, away from the world, so the world is like protected from if those artifacts would ever get out and be used. I think that's a very distinct possibility.
I've never watched one episode.
It's so good. It like elements of it still hold up today, I think. Like that, yeah, they did very well.
I think it's just I think I was always worried like it would interfere with my own experience, and then I would worry what was the reality, because maybe my memory of the show might interfere with my memory of my own reality. Yes, that's why I don't watch videos of other experiencers.
Got quiet in here, didn't it? What happened? You motherfuckers. So, I was checking out the song, let's see how it goes. Watching it.
Vandal's being quiet lately.
Sorry, I'm playing photographer because my son's vibing out in here. It's the cutest thing. He just got this lamp that changes colors, so We have totally different moods now.
That's so cool. I love those. I got one for my grandson. Now you can turn on some music to that and dance.
Yeah, and there's one where it'll go through all the colors, or you can just pick a color, and then also there's one that will respond to sound, which is kind of cool. I'd leave that set up and just see if it can like pick up anything.
Yes.
But
I love the vibe.
Do you want to touch the monkey?
I want to say, Logan, I'm just like so envious. You had chili rellenos. It's like the authentic chili rellenos, a nice pepper with cheese in it, and you get the egg nice and fluffy. So when you dip it in there and when you fry it, oh, it's all nice and fluffy. And then the cheese inside of it, that's just like heavenly. That's just like so good.
God, are we talking about placenta again?
What are you talking about?
We're talking about chili rellenos. That's a Mexican. That's what Logan had for dinner. He had chili rellenos and beans and rice. A chili relleno is a pepper. You slice it open. You take out the seeds. You put some cheese inside of it. You dip it in a egg, a white fluffy sauce, of whipped egg. You put it in that and you fry it, and so it's this beautiful pepper with cheese in it and this egg, white egg, and you put it in, or I guess it's the yellow part, the yellow yolk, and you fry it, and it's just this beautiful thing. It's like the Mexicans have that, and that's what Logan had for dinner. It's like,
Logan, do you cook often?
no, he didn't cook that. Um, but anyway, that's what he told Jason he had for dinner because Jason had spaghetti.
Do any of y'all have a kitten? Okay, so I got a new kitten, and she just eats all my food. Like every time I'm trying to eat, she's like crazy. And it's supposed to be a good kitten. Like she's a rag doll, and she's just crazy. Like keeps coming after my food. And if y'all had a kitten that did that, did they stop doing that? Because I'm tired of it.
I've got a kitten as well. We've got one we've had for a few months now, Houdini. We don't have that problem, but we do have a problem of he seems to be a bit of a thief because he keeps, like, at first he was trying to bring like birds in or something, and then he stopped doing that, and he started bringing toys in, like toys that we haven't bought. So I don't know where he's getting them from, but yeah, like
He just still diamond necklaces now, mistress.
yeah, can he find me like a diamond ring? Like that would be great.
We're talking.
A carat gold. I don't know what. Something.
I just came up here to talk about chili rellenos and how much I love them. They are a deep, deep love of mine. So Randy, Logan, we're on the same team. I'll eat chili relleno all day, all night. The only thing is like I like it when it has a more of like the white cheese in it, like the queso blanco in it, and then I like it when they stuff it with meat. And there's a lot of places they don't stuff it with meat, and I'm like, bitch, you better put some chicken or some beef in that because you could ask for that, Logan. I don't know if you know that if you're a meat eater, you could stuff those with meat. Some places do it.
Ocean, guess what I'm eating?
What?
We were just talking about it. Pizza. I'm gonna send you a picture. Send you guys a picture. This shit is fucking amazing. It's called Blaze Pizza. I don't know if it's a big chain or it's just around where I live, but
Ooh, Blaze rolls. It's so good. You make your own. Oh, yeah. I'm cutting myself bangs, so Godspeed. Wish me luck. Oh my lord.
I bet Logan's sleeping.
The last super delicious thing I had was coffee with like coconut, cream of coconut in it, and oh, that was so good.
Logan, Ocean, don't leave your post because I think Logan's speaking, and you're the only person that can bring up speakers.
I got you. Don't worry.
You better. I'll shame you.
I've just been smoking today, so I'm not as quick as I usually am, but I'm here.
Damn, I tell you, man, I've had these 1,000 milligram gummies, man. I held back since Jason was in his space today, man. But damn, 1,000.
That's a lot of
Oh,
milligrams.
what?
Jeez.
Yes, they kicked my ass. I'm like giggly like I was like when I was a teenager. It's fun. You got like nibble on it. You could put one in your lip, a little piece in your lip, like chew tobacco. Let it dissolve.
You know what? I also have ice cream too, and I still got a little bit of that cream of coconut. I should pour that on the
You
ice
got any of
cream.
that cake?
That'd
You
be
got any of that
delicious.
cake left? Did you have chocolate cake?
Oh yeah, there's lots of cake.
Oh,
It's marble cake.
chocolate with chocolate frosting is my favorite. Then heat it up and put some vanilla ice cream.
Honestly, I'm not a huge cake person, but I do like cheesecake's pretty good.
I like making like lemon meringue pie. I like making pies.
I haven't made a pie for a long time, but my grandma used to make pie, and we go pick like blackberries, and she'd make blackberry pie with it. It was so good. I mean, it was so good to eat, but like being stuck in the bush trying to get the best blackberries, that part was not fun. But it was definitely like so it made it taste so
I
much
just made a
better.
blackberry jam, and we had like multiple bags of blackberries. I made it twice. I'm trying to like have a whole fruit farm when I get older. I have like
Yeah, I want like an orchard
yeah,
with
an
like berry
orchard.
bushes in between.
Yes, right now I have 80 plants, and I have about 30 fruit trees. And they're all in pots because I'm kind of mobile right now. Like we're moving a lot just for school. So whenever I settle down, I'm gonna definitely make an orchard.
2 more years, Taylor.
Yeah, I have like a year for me, and then we got a few more years for my partner in med school. So it's gonna be a few more years for sure. But then residency is after that, and you don't know where that's at. So that could be anywhere in the country.
Yeah, so you have to be ready to be moved then. So after 3 years, then maybe you guys might have to move your roots then.
I wonder if you could do an above ground garden, like in like a wooden crate, and then move that. I don't know. It's just it would be hard, but like sometimes the pots, I have big pots, but they could still limit them. And I'm trying to figure out like a something that's more mobile, but not just like a pot. Like I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out.
You could always do temporary beds and just use like a little hay bale and then put a little bit of dirt like in the center, like bust it open and then put like a little bit of dirt in the center. And then at the end of the season, you just like clean it up, right? It's just like, or it becomes compost for somebody because a lot of people want that type of stuff for compost, right? So, but yeah, they're not like forever garden beds though.
That's a good idea. I just think people need to learn how to grow their own stuff and stop relying on the government. Um We definitely learned that with COVID, but I just implore people, like, if you eat fruit and you have a seed, like, go ahead and plant it. Do not throw it away. I've planted many lemon seeds from lemons I bought in the store. So many things do still grow. And so if you have any fruit seeds, instead of throw them in the garbage, just at least throw them outside. Just throw them out your window, throw them outside. Don't just throw them like in away because that's not gonna have, nothing will happen from that. But just keep all your seeds. And yeah, we should all be trying to plant more fruit trees because like back in the day, there used to be like fruit trees like more prominently, but now they've just like planted a bunch of useless bushes in front of everybody's house that nobody can even eat. And that's just ridiculous. So we need to try to have more like edible food in the wild and like
Right,
replenish
yeah,
that.
yeah. We planted 36 fruit trees, and that was just like a Portuguese way. It's like, figs, peaches, apricots, all different kinds.
Yes, dude. Why don't we like why would anybody have a bush in front of their house that's not edible? Like unless you could do something with it, like, whatever. Like don't plant it. Just plant stuff you can actually eat.
Like a lemon tree. It doesn't take up much space. It only grows about 10 feet tall.
Yeah, and you can do lemon trees around your house for protection because they have like little briars on them and they're pokey. So you can do lemon trees, yeah.
Right, to keep someone climbing over the fence. They got
Like barbed
little.
wire, yeah.
Exactly.
I was thinking about doing that because I have more lemons than anything, but if life gives you lemons, make lemonade. So I have a bunch of lemon trees. So I'm like, okay, well maybe I can put these around my house to like prevent people from like breaking in or something.
That lemon meringue pie I was talking about.
And I'm gonna have a fruit juicer, so anytime I want juice, like I just grab some fruit and then put it in the juicer. Cause yeah, I love fruit juice.
The berries produce pretty good in pots, correct?
They produce good. Yeah, they produce good. I have a bunch of blueberry trees. Blueberries are really hardy, and beauty berries, they are amazing. Also, what's it called? The black, um, not skullcap. I can't think of the name of them. But anyway, death cap. They have blackberries that are edible. So I don't know. They're pretty cool. They're little black berries. Um, and they're really good too. So beauty berries are really good. Yeah, and they will grow like anywhere too. Like, and you could just eat them. They're little purple berries. They taste so good. So yeah, you got to look up hardy ones.
Yeah, I was gonna say back home on Vancouver Island, there's blackberries, huckleberries, salmon berries, natural blueberries. There's other like little ones that are like longer raspberries that crawl on the ground that you can eat too. There's like so many different natural ones. There are some poisonous ones though too, so you gotta be careful. But
Yeah, look everything
yeah,
up.
yeah, I agree though. We should all just be planting like edible, like plants. Makes sense.
I got potatoes on my porch.
I thought
That's awesome.
potatoes needed like deep soil. That's awesome
You
though.
can actually grow potatoes on the ground. Like they just need like a little root, and then they just like a vine. They're like a vine. They grow all over.
I have earth bags. They're only about 2 feet deep, but a whole bunch of them shot up, and now I have all these pretty little white flowers. So once they're done blooming, then they're gonna start to produce potato. I'm gonna be eating good in August, y'all.
You can live on sweet potatoes and butter, apparently. Logan, your connection's going out.
Logan. Yeah, I want to get into like jarring and canning because that's like a good way to like keep fucking fruits delicious too. Just waiting to see if the connection gives. I don't know. Maybe he fell back asleep already. Wouldn't be surprised.
How many people were in that space today? At one point, I thought I saw like 250 some odd.
Yeah, like 250.
Good for him.
Honestly, I've been smoking and I was probably way too toasted to be co-hosting, but what's done is done.
I am right there with you. I'm leaving the office right now, and I just lit up my little refry. It's a beautiful Friday. Yeah, I can't believe how fast this bag went, but I could do one more little one, I guess. Why not?